We're gonna cause a failure. There's the cop. I was hoping you'd show up, friend. So yeah, they kind of spit on these ones over here. But you will definitely cause this to break pretty quick. Maybe I'll pretend like I have less stamina or something. Barely have any stamina. Oh, it's so annoying. It is really annoying. Oh my god. Okay. Now this is where you get out. Hello everyone, my name is Dredden, and we are back in 7 Days to Die. This is in 17.1, and here's a base that I designed. It is both a good base and a bad base. My god, it has been a thing. So this is a design that's sort of based a bit off of both Jawoodle and Veduai. Now, man, I don't know, it's evolved a lot over the last days of testing. I kind of actually hate this base, but it has a lot of cool features and a lot of neat little things that just make it work in certain ways. The reason I dislike it is because, good god, it has taken a lot of tuning to get, and I think it's mostly just the zombie AI working on the one on the left side here. As you can see, there's this huge structure there, and let's talk about this whole thing. All right, guys. So this base is both an XP grinder and a loot kind of base. Now I'll talk about some of the changes that are probably better, just to make this a little bit more all-around kind of base. Yeah. All right. It's kind of crazy. Let's just talk about the broad features in general here. We have a ramp. The ramp is made of cobblestone, and it's got lots of little features that make it work in certain ways. And then we go up here, and we have this feature here, which allows the zombies to walk across, and that is good. I just set my settings a little bit lower. I hope everything works really well with this video. The last time I tried to record this is the second time I recorded this. It was a little bit jittery. I hope I'm going to put this video even if it is a little jittery, and I apologize if it ends up being that way in post, but there you go. Then we come down through here. This, thank you very much, game, is basically your just sort of standard sort of fall thing. I was going to go with the Veduai 50 pillar trick, but you know what? It didn't work for this base. And that's why there's red paint here. This red paint basically just signifies that I had to do something special here. And I ended up that I had to do a lot more special. The zombies would break through this wall in this spot and the red spot down over here continually. The reason is, when you go down here to do the sort of looting for the drops, the infinite loot kind of thing, that causes them to want to take a different path. Now, trying to combine these bases, I think, is probably the biggest issue here. Yeah, anyway, I painted this color so that we could do it this way. Now there's a third row here, and that is to try to also force them to kind of go this way a little bit more if you want to use the lower section of it. And let's talk about that. This is something I added here later on, and I think maybe this is part of the source of the problems that started to occur with this base. Basically, it's a little platform for shooting zombies, and yeah. So down here we have some hay bales in here and here. This is just to soften the blow. Those zombies, they are kind of strong, but they're also kind of weak. It's a thing that, you know, basically I just wanted to reduce the amount of damage done to them because I wanted to get the XP myself. Now, if you just wanted to kill the zombies, please put nice hard concrete down here or whatever and put some spikes on it, and then that will take them out pretty quick. Whew, yeah. Anyhow, this platform, these get actually hit quite a bit, more so than I would have thought, based on where they fall off of, but I think it's because of where in this particular design the door is. It's off this direction rather than in the center, and these are actually a little closer in than I would have liked. These should be out a little bit further, but hey, this is for kind of testing purposes. This is my GTFO. If something bad happens to this base, I am jumping out of here down to here, and normally I had a bike. The bike is over there. The reason is because well, you know, maybe it's this biome. Whenever I test this thing, the screamers start coming, and good God, it starts to get out of hand pretty badly. I didn't think that it would be a big deal, but you know, it kind of makes sense. It kind of hit me this morning when I was starting to record that was kind of the problem. All right, simple little cage, keeps the birds off, keeps the spiders out, and yeah. Down here we have, I would kind of expand this probably. I don't know why I used the T's. I guess it was just the first one I saw that would suit my purposes. They're kind of in the way a little bit, so maybe just use some other kind of half, or I guess this is quarter pillar. So you have even better range of sight because it's kind of a little bit in your way. Anyway, this is just to shoot the little guys who are trying to break the pillars. If it happens, it doesn't always happen. Most of the time, the zombies will like to run over there. We'll do a bit of an example here. Things will hit the fan. It's not going to be pretty, but you know, when it works really well. But then sometimes, like this base is, like I said, it's taking a lot of tuning, and if you get in the wrong spot, sometimes things will go very badly. So I don't know. Anyways, I was going to share like I said, the innovative features, these little things, the details, because I think they're important. Little hatch to get in and out of that makes it also pretty accessible from the front. Yeah. Oh, I was going to mention that. Yes, I added these top wedges parts just so that I had increased visibility down here to shoot the zombies with rather than a full block. This is something I learned from building machicolations on my castles. Anyhow, okay guys, so what we have here is sort of a reinforcing wall, and it'll protect this side of the base. Now this was an addition. This is why it is kind of big, blocky, ugly, chunky. It is not a beautiful little thing. And it breaks symmetricality. It breaks a lot of rules of beauty. It's got a nice asymmetricality to it. Look at that. I even got this thing here. Anyhow, what I've done here is I've added. Okay, well, let's go back to this spot. This spot was a pain. Now you remember the red marks up here. This was early on. The zombies would break through here. They would just stop on the pillar 50s that were here. And they would, as they were falling down, before they fell down kind of deal, they would smash into this wall, probably stopping on this block right here, actually, before the 50 pillars, and start smashing through, and they would try to get down here. So what I did was I moved the walkway out one, and that actually worked. So keep that in mind for your bases. That actually worked. You step that out one. I don't know what you're going to be doing with it, but making it that path change helped a lot. You know what? I just had a kind of a thought about this base. If I move this entire melee section in over that way a couple, that might help. I don't know. It's a tricky base. So this is what block is this thing called? It is a flagstone wedge inside corner top. And it allows the zombies to run on top of it. That works out most of the time. And when you kill the zombies, the loot falls down here, and then you can actually access it through there via the flagstone gable inverted steep. Okay. So then, yes, you spend your time in here, you hang out, and you can reach inside or reach the loot like that. Let's even just show this. Loot, just bam, empty loot container. See, you can grab that, and it's fantastic. Whatever, we're gonna leave that because I don't really need it. Now, my hope was that this base would actually fuel your leveling, but it's a little bit tricky. Okay, moving on. back out here. This is the area that they try to path along. Once again, it's a bit funky because I had to move it out so that the zombies didn't smash this one. Just, I don't know, they got stuck right here and we're just smashing things every now and then. It was very rarely, it's just this strange tuning. Like, I don't know how many people have tried certain bases similar to this and had to do some like major tuning, but I certainly did, and it was been tricky. Now I added this early on, and I think it may be unnecessary now. This was an attempt to reduce sort of when dogs would fall in, because they seem to fall in a lot over there. What I ended up having to do was totally different. Now, because the Jawoodle base had the dart traps that kind of fired right down the range of this thing, which personally I would add. What I would do is I would add them probably behind you. Let's see. We go down one here. That brings us to this height. Yeah, I would probably add them back behind here, and they should be able to fire through this particular type of block. There's other types of blocks they can fire through as well. I would add them back there, you know, say when you're like high enough level that you can make them and you have the resources, because like I said, this is going to be somewhat for leveling and somewhat for looting. Keep in mind, it's going to be a exercise. Do it in creative for yourself and learn some stuff about base building, because this one definitely required a bunch of tuning. Like I said, been onto it. Tuning. It's the name of the game here. What I've done here is I've taken these particular strange, what is it, gable block inverted steep or something. Let's just check that again. Flagstone, gable, inverted steep. That's the guy. And I put them like this, going so the V was up, and then the V was down, then the V was up, the V was down. So this allows you to sort of see through them and shoot the zombies as you can kind of see. If you're kind of like looking down there, you can see them coming, get yourself ready, and then pop through there. I don't know, it's not exactly ideal. Now you might want to innovate with this yourself and try out different designs. The reasoning for this design, like, see, maybe even putting like a plate down here might work. Now, it's tricky though, because the dogs are like the bane, man, of this type of base. Without those dart traps down there shooting them off right away, it causes problems. I tried having these, so they were like big open diamonds, or one of them was an open diamond and one of them was like this with the lower, and that worked most of the time. And it's always these like off chances that seem to, when things start to get out of hand, that just start to cascade and destroy you. Yeah. So what happens is the dogs now, they don't glitch through this. And by putting this bar up top here, it makes it so that they don't run, that they can run across it most of the time. Now you are going to have to stop with this base. You're going to have to get out of here to cool it off and regroup, like rearm yourself, and you know, it's fine. Now the idea was you could spend a bunch of time here shooting, blasting them with arrows, shooting them with guns as much as you can up here, or if you would like for the loot, and if you were over there just for the XP, which is probably a little bit, it's probably the safest, best functioning part of this base. We'll get into that. Okay, and then of course you have the melee through here, which is actually a great height. The zombies do like that pretty well. Delete that. You don't even have to look at me. Hello, my friend. Friend Arlene. Goodbye. Goodbye, Arlene. Let's just put one here. Hopefully it works this time. There we go. I'll just show you the head height. We'll run this through a little bit of a test. I don't want to do it too long, but I know I'm going to be talking about this. See, nice good head height here, so you can bash their faces pretty well. This is a wedge tip block. I had to upgrade a lot of these because this took a lot of hits. Now, the reason I've done this in cobblestone is because I wanted to do this early game leveling feature. But you know what? this base might be a little bit better for later on, right? So yeah, but this is mostly good until man, I don't know. Like I said, this green line was my old, these are 50 or sort of, I guess, half blocks. And yeah, if you're back here, the zombies really do like to run along there, but sometimes, not always, but like I said, sometimes finickiness, you get close enough, this might be fine. Actually, right here might be fine, but then, well, yeah, she'll come to us if we, well, we got to do this, actually. If we're here, she'll come hang out with us. She'll come and attack these blocks, but if we go back here, she'll walk away. So it's an annoying little thing. I will have to pause the zombie AI again, because it will just, things are going to get out of hand. It happens so quick. It's been 20 minutes of recording so far. Let's speed this up, shall we? Okay, so I've talked about that, and that seems, this works pretty well, and it works fabulous if there's only a couple zombies. Trust me, this works pretty darn well when there's a few of them. It's when things start to get fired up. You start getting screamers happening, and then it gets bad. Anyways, you can see through there that this is the right gun. Yeah, yeah, my AK has already been blasted out. I don't think we're gonna get. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work so great. I've during my testing, I've spent a lot of bullets on this base. It's kind of a tricky thing. Come here, Arlene. So the other couple of features are this little hole here. Implemented how you want. I think she fell down on the ground. Poor dear. Well, let's actually open this side here. Now, yeah, so that all works mostly. We'll see how it gets out of hand and it gets bad. But this, when things do get out of hand, what I would recommend is getting the heck out of here. Right? Let's pause the AI. So for example, what I would do is I would put in a bicycle. I'd probably, I mean, if you have the option to put in more than one, that's great. Well, let's see, this side actually might be better now. If you want to figure it out yourself, where the heck to put these bikes. One there is good if you're going to do the melee aspect of it. This one is good if you're going to be doing the sort of shooting from the tower aspect of it. Okay, that's what I would do. Those are your get out quick options. Alrighty, let's talk about this other weirdness here. What on earth is going on here? Well, I have a background in comp sci, so I needed to look at what was going on with their AI. They use an algorithm for pathfinding called A-star. The A-star algorithm uses nodes, and it navigates from each node, and this then allows them to figure out a fairly efficient path. And this is now, I think, why they're so dang brilliant. They are not brain dead zombies. They are freaking brilliant undead monsters, because of course they can punch through walls of steel, and they can take so many hits in the head, and they are so smart. Anyhow, if they fall down here or there, ideally what happens is they want to get back to the ramp, and that's fine. And but the nodes start to click, and they're like, okay, well now we're at this spot, and now we're at this spot. And this is sort of as they think. They don't actually move per se as they're doing this. This is just sort of the algorithm. They move, then they come down and up, and you know, they have to choose a path that is more efficient, right? So if they have to go up, over, down, 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 that's a lot more movement than just moving straight, right? This isn't a bunch of up and downs. Like this is up, down, up, down, up, down, which makes it have extra nodes, as they call them, but it's just extra movement, right? It's less efficient for them. Every node has a cost, and that is what is causing certain issues. Anyhow, so what I've done, yes, is I've made the ground uneven, and these ones here are mostly meant to make it costly to go through the center, because you'd have to go to the center, move over here, move up and over and down and up and over and down, up and over and down. Especially if you wanted to go through the center specifically, you would have to be really moving, and it's really costly to do this because you also have to, if you want to do it directly, you gotta jump. Okay, so that's that. And it's all sort of meant to keep them off the pillars, and it works pretty well. I occasionally have to repair these pillars. Like if you leave this base, come back and fix it before you do anything, and ideally have maybe campfires, because torches you can't really turn off. If the heat is high when you come back, you're gonna get screamers right away, and then you're gonna have to leave again. And yeah, so anyhow, there's that. Specific little things, these ones here, I don't know, they're a little bit higher. They help to protect these outer pillars. It's pretty rare that it happens, but yeah, this location here is a little bit goofy because, yeah, the zombies do fall through here when you're doing melee, and they do like to run through this area and maybe hit these a little bit more than other blocks, and of course upgrade these when you get to the appropriate level. It's sort of why I like doing this with flagstone and cobblestone, because it shows the damage pretty quickly, but also, you know, you're gonna ideally you start the kind of base that you want to do something like this pretty early on. Anyways, you can implement this in other types of pillory bases that have certain pathways. Just keep it in mind. I think it's pretty useful to have this sort of strange walking system. You know, just force them to walk certain ways. These ones are very important for this particular build. Bears. Now, bears used to come up here and they would get kind of stuck here, and they would mull around and do whatever, and kind of cause havoc right there. Now, what I did is I put 1, 2 here, like in line with this part here, and a third one here, which then has one stacked on top of it. Now this makes it just extra costly to go to this location. If you're going up there, what ends up happening is, sorry about that, is that sort of at these locations, a navigating bear will realize that it's still a little cheaper to go over here, and then from here it's just cheap to kind of walk around, right? It's easy to do. So with these on both sides, this one here, and on this little side here, flanking this ramp, make it so that most of the zombies and the bears do not go up there. I would recommend upgrading this, because occasionally zombies just like to swing their arms and break stuff. I don't know, they're dumb. Smart and dumb. Okay, this was an attempt here to prevent them from breaking through the wall. Now, the reason they do this is because their freaking genius brains just make them think that they can get through. This is the spot where you would walk in, right? And they think that by breaking here, they can go through the wall and down and get you. And the way I've designed it is it doesn't actually work, because there's an overfall. Like it just, they don't ever make it, but their little zombie brains think they can, and they like to smash out this wall, and thus began a terrible experimentation of putting this giant retaining wall in. Now, I do like this retaining wall for 2 reasons. It prevents them from breaking through that wall, for number 1. Number 2, it adds a lot of structural support. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 12. So even if this base, even if these pillars are down here are destroyed, this wall will actually hold. I wouldn't say, I'm not going to say and guarantee that it's going to hold the whole base up, but it will certainly help. In theory, it actually will hold the whole base up, because it's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if you do the same thing on this side as well, these sides get broken out, it will definitely collapse. But if this side wasn't here at all, the 4 or 5 here and 4 or 5 there should be within the limits of the weight for your base, right? Yeah, here's a better view of these as they are. You can see through them, and these little bars mean you can loot through here as well. Loot. Whatever, there's some loot. Yeah, so that's good. And some of it was the testing that I was doing. If you were standing, I was standing here, and you know the zombies would come by and it would be fine. Oh yeah, that little staircase is important too, actually. We'll talk about that. So, just to show you, obviously you can reach through and grab the loot, right? Whoop-de-doo! So there you go. Yeah, we'll come back and use this in a minute or two. I changed this. Now, originally this wall came out maybe maybe to about here, 2 or 3 more out. But you know what? The pathing was too long, and that was contributing to the zombies smashing through this wall. So I took out this wall, made it shorter, and made it through that they could come down this way, and this actually increased the probability that they would come peacefully through the entire maze and come through. All right, I think it's about time we start to maybe get into some actual things here. Now I put these here, also I put a lot of different things here to prevent them from trying to walk on this side. You know what? Almost nothing helped. I even early on had something in the middle of these bars that was meant to prevent the dogs from getting in, and it actually did help a lot. The dogs didn't fall through as much, but even a couple glitching in when things really start to get out of hand is kind of not good. I'm just gonna turn on that AI. I'm gonna kill off that Arlene. These are just flagstones, so they're not very strong. Like I said, I wanted to kind of do this in a way that meant, well, that everything would work pretty well for early game. Though upgrading a lot of this stuff is gonna help you a lot. So I get another batch of that, so I can just keep this kind of repaired. There we go. So yeah, like oftentimes if I was standing here, the zombies would run along this side because I was watching them along this pathway and maneuver around all the broken rock, those little sort of AI forcing techniques down there. Yeah, anyhow, so she comes by and it's all fine. La-da-da. I think we have Screamer now. This is where things are going to get out of hand. Always lift up your little drawbridge, because they are going to try to get ya. Yeah, see, this pillar is just in the wrong spot now. But you know what? I don't think it'll be a big problem. I need to get some bullets. Because, yeah, things are about... We don't even need to go to a Horde Night, trust me. A Horde Night is just... It's ridiculous. You wouldn't even have to go into it. I don't know. We'll use this. Honestly, things are going to get so out of hand in this biome that it's not good. It is not good. We need to repair this gun as well. Come here, gun. I have repair kits. Repair. So, yeah, I've been testing this base a lot, and like I said, it's taken a lot of work to get this thing rolling. Gun sounds very quiet. This is the wrong gun. Right. We'll get the super digger out of the way. That's the dev digger gun. Come here, my friends. You'll see how quickly this gets out of hand. We'll do a little bit of this. Okay, I'll take out Arlene. We want the Screamer alive. And you just let them just go. This is sort of the aspect I like of the Vedui. One is that they, you know, you just leave the Screamer alive. I don't know when she's going to scream for us. Thank you, my dear. But you just let her live, and ideally she'll survive, especially if there's hay. It'll reduce the damage. I don't know if we can get to this in time. Let's see. Where is she? Screamer. It says 75 health. And now Screamer 50 health. So she loses a bit of health every time you do this. So that's not ideal. We've got some new friends here. But yeah, if you have the ammo, you know, you can do this pretty well, but the heat just kind of goes insane pretty quick. And I'm pretty sure it's this biome. Don't do this in this biome. This is just, I mean, unless you really want to torture yourself. It is kind of crazy. And we will definitely check out the pathing. Now this isn't too bad either. But you can't really get the loot like this, so that's kind of a problem. Now if you had a friend, this would actually probably work pretty well. Though they would probably try to break through that wall if they were in the wrong spot. But in theory, this part of the base works really well. You know, just be careful about your pillars beneath you there. Let's spawn some bears and dogs in just because I like to do that torturing myself kind of thing. Dude, what on earth are you doing? Dude, this is a new behavior that every time I record, man, something strange goes on. Stop that, sir. That block did nothing to you. Why on earth? You just want to get down to my level. You're gonna make me shoot my screamers. Holy crap, jerkbag. Get off. Okay, so finally I can summon some nasty creatures. 2 bears and a bunch of dogs. Come on. And as you can see, they really do like to avoid getting close to the pillars because of these undulations. Now I've seen other people do blocks. I just like the terrain pillar because it works pretty well. Now dogs will die pretty quick because they're weak as. And here come the bears. The bears are good times as well. But if you get in their way, they start breaking stuff. And zombies also like to, you know, have problems. I guess you would have to shoot them from here. Hey bear, how's it going? Yeah, and they don't generally pick on things like down here for too long. They might smash them a little bit. Yeah, so it's not too bad. They will break on these a little bit. So upgrade these when you can. And yeah, like it does work for bears because it's too wide. The bears do fall through there, as you can just, you know, just see, and it is good. Let's see here. I am gonna just show this from a different angle. Okay, yeah, and so as we can see, that bear just messed Mo up. You know, it works pretty well, and as you can see, like the bear, he just was like, oh, I'll go that way, but no, he's like, nope. And maybe you can see that they don't like to go in that one spot as much. So it's pretty good. Now, yeah, like I said, they will kind of smash this. This tower was an addition that was done later on. And, yeah, see, now they're all crazy again. It's kind of weird. Some of their weird behavior, I think, is when I'm not on the ground and stuff. They sort of halfway through here with the testing, but this is a really big issue. I don't really like this as much. But you can start mowing them down pretty well. Get our HUD back, please. But yeah, things heat up pretty quick. We're gonna actually need more bullets. To be honest, let's do that. There. Okay, anyway, I think I'm just sort of, we need to move on to the next little aspect of this base, so let's do that now. You can actually even stand here if all of these are open, and they will not even worry about going through here. Like you can stand here and just fight them. So if there was a spider, sure, you'd have to move, and vultures, you're unprotected over here. Just keep that in mind. So there you go. This is where things get a little bit weird. Sometimes, depending on where I think where you stand downstairs, this is a good path for them, but other times having these down are better. So I don't know. This is where things are gonna go badly. I think the base is gonna fail. I'm gonna have to get out of here, and this wall might fall. But the so I don't know. The aspect of the melee parts are not so great. And I should watch that bear go over there. And there's a big difference between standing close to the wall and away from the wall, which is not so great. Well, I guess I'll show you that, and we'll just move on. Oh, pick up that gun, please. Thank you. Don't forget to open these up, because if you dunna, you're gonna have a bad day. Okay, so guys, now we'll get them all going again. Just there, suddenly realize, oh, he's moved. Yeah, we'll just use the dev gun. Come on, guys, wake up. So yeah, now you can see that the dogs like to path through there. The dogs were usually the worst, trying to get, like, they would get to you. It was not fun. So by staying away from this, oh yeah, you can see the bears and stuff. They make their ways down here too. Sometimes you can hit them before they fall off. But yeah, the bear, you'll see, doesn't like that path of the undulating ground, and so he'll get the heck out from underneath your base and move over to the ramp. Hi there, Screamer. Screamsy. Yeah, but right now my character is actually balanced right against the wall on the backside, and this generally causes them to kind of walk past. But if you watch this, at some point, I'll step forward and things will change, and it's kind of hard to do anything about it from this angle. Another thing to note is that if you have a cop coming down here at this time, they will spit at you, but these blocks are, you're safe behind them, so a cop isn't a big deal. I don't know how many cops it'll work with, so just know that you need to worry about it. Dude just fell off. That's kind of cute. Anyhow, moving on. If I take a step forward here, she's already gone past. So this would allow me to, in theory, smash. I can't really do anything about it right now, so I'm going to have to take a step back as soon as I get close. But they'll probably stop right there and try to hit me. These two bears might actually be a problem, though. Yeah. So they stop right there. I mean, it's convenient if you want to smash them in the heads. Also, not a big deal if there's only a couple. Like, again, this biome, not very pleasant. See, this guy stops and starts hitting the thing. But if I were to step backwards, he just moseys on along. So I guess the way to play that is that you could, if you need to chill out and repair, I would take a step back, and that will basically make it so that they don't, they'll keep walking past you, right? Now let's speed things up even worse. All right, now they're gonna start running. Oh, good God. Fortunately, the bears do fall down fairly often. And like I said, they will fall away. This is where the base is going to fall. No, it won't fall. It'll just get kind of insane, and we'll have to leave. But as you can see, nothing is falling through here at the moment. Now, they do like to break these bars for some stupid reason every now and then, especially on a horde night. This is not a horde base I would recommend. But yeah, you can also shoot from down here, because this works not too badly. Yeah, boom, boom. I would maybe try to thin them out at a certain time points, if you can. Knock them off, so that, jeez, undead monsters. So that occasionally you can also move in and smash them. I guess I should turn off my thing here. Yeah, and they do stop pretty well right here, but once one stops, then you get a giant cascade of a lot of them stopping. The stamina is too high. So yeah, stop. If you take a step back, regenerate your stamina. I guess I probably haven't fed or done anything with my character for a long time. Repair the wall, they'll run away, then you can step forward again and take a few more swings. Yeah, and then now, with this giant wall brace, things work out pretty well most of the time. Once again, it's you get the timing down of this, then it works much better. And if there's not too many of them, this isn't too bad. But you do definitely have to worry about this. and keep an eye on it. Maybe back up. Get out of here. She is determined. I think maybe she's a bit stuck in the wall. Keep your walls repaired. Yeah, I think the tuning might actually be holding for this video. Man, the first time I did this, it was an exercise in frustration. Things were falling apart. It was not a happy time. We're gonna shoot you in the face? No, we're not? Great. So yeah, this base actually works pretty well now that I understand it a lot more. But yeah, I even have some perks, like a fair number of them for fighting. Yeah. Yeah, it took a lot of study in this base design to make them work right. But as you can see, yeah, anything falls here, it will come to you, and it's all good. We'll move forward and take maybe a couple of swings. Let those guys move on. Well, we're gonna miss that dude. Okay, what else can I say? Yeah, if you stand here too long, things are gonna break. Upgrade these blocks so that they are strong as can be. And from there... Yeah, because you can smash even those guys. No, crawlers, you know, I haven't really tried and tested much with. Okay, that wall is a little bit weakened, so step back, repair. These are all cobblestone. Yeah, and I guess we should demonstrate this aspect of it. Now, at this point, if this happens, you're kind of screwed. You can't really do much. You have to... This is basically the end state of this base. But if you wanted to switch back to the other way to handle this base, the horde, for just loot only, you would kind of come up here, open these doors, and we'll see if they smash through the walls, because you know what? Sometimes they do. This is probably the third sort of mode for this kind of base, and it can be kind of tricky at times. Because they do want to get over here, and they like to smash up over there, which is so annoying. Go, my friends. Go for us and destroy. Okay, so now they will still try to get to us. And they don't really like spending too much time down below. Now you have to be careful right here. Now, I like to stand right here because I can make sure they're not breaking my wall. You have to aim not on the bullet, not on this iron, so it's tricky. Today I think it's going to work with us, but like I said, this one requires a lot of tuning. I think we got the bear. Oh, there, big old bear. Didn't drop any loot on us. But yeah, you're going to need a lot of bullets for this kind of thing. I think we have someone coming. But obviously not the best to shoot them this direction, so it's a problem, but hey, it is what it is, eh? So there are probably a couple of other small blocks you could put on the top there to prevent them from coming through there. I don't know. And maybe changing some of the size of these would be good, because there's other versions of this, these blocks, but I'm done testing this block. Let me know in the comments what you think about this base and the different designs, different blocks that I might want to try in different locations, because I think I've got it tuned fairly well, but you know, I'm not above testing more of the alterations. And because one of the things that would be nice is if this were to be expanded so that you could actually fire a longer distance. The dogs are just the biggest issue. Now, if you can find a block that works really well, that doesn't let the dogs through, then it's great. Having 2 layers of this doesn't work. Even 3 layers of these, having 2 of these opposite facing on the block up there, and then this block, and then the block that these inverted gables take. 3 of them actually doesn't even prevent the ragdoll zombies from falling through, because you can shoot them in the head, they will ragdoll, and 50% of the time, I don't actually know, a lot of the time, a lot more than you like, they'll fall right down onto you, and then you have to deal with the zombie in here. I guess it's not so bad if you want to target a zombie to, you know, have a fist fight with. Seriously been a tricky thing. Yeah, anyhow. That works pretty well. Now, yeah, like I said, if things go bad, then you want to get out of here. We'll just demonstrate some of that, shall we? We'll do that guy, and we'll wait for Arlene to go away. And now we'll run down here. And hopefully these will open in time. Fantastic. We'll actually cause a failure by pretending to fight for too long. Come here. Because we're gonna have to wait for another round. Anyway guys, if you guys are enjoying this video, hit that like button. If you are new to the channel and like what you see, hit the subscribe button. Yeah, I guess we should pretend like I have no stamina, like I'm just a lowly human. So, smash away. Eventually you get loot. I hope. Missed him. Okay, wait for another round. Here you go. There we go. Come on, come on. And smash. There we go. Stopping them, like I said, will often cause this horrific catastrophe. Now, I'm surprised there's no... my game stage is pretty high. We'll check right at the very end here. And hopefully I can actually get out. I'm actually pretty... Here, let me just... A Horde Knight never have this much crap on you. I only have this much stuff on me because I've been building bases like a fiend. I have so many things. You know what I should just do? I got lots of skill points. Let's just buy all the points of pack mule, because there, done. Don't have to worry about that crap now. Now I'm not unhindered. Take that. Got a free cheap shot on ya. Sorry, Sylvia, we're calling you today. Yeah, so you would probably want to step back and repair this right now, but we're going to cause a failure. There's the cop. I was hoping you'd show up, friend. So yeah, they kind of spit on these ones over here. But you will definitely cause this to break pretty quick. Maybe I'll pretend like I have less stamina or something. Barely have any stamina. Oh, it's so annoying. It is really annoying. Oh my god. Okay. Now this is where you get out. I think my bike is over here. And there you go. Get biking! And you get out of there. And that's that, guys. Basically now, if you would just... I mean, you could come back or you could go to a secondary base. So, yeah. But let's take a look at that after all the horde right now. Boom. Daytime, you come back, and, you know, things are probably fine, because they're all going to try to get to you farther away from your base, right? Once again, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So on the 5th one is where these guys are. This base, I would say now functions like I want it to function. But it was an exercise in frustration getting it set up, like learning all this stuff. It was kind of annoying. Yeah, like I said, improvements you could do. You could add another bunch of these and put in, I don't know, whatever makes it look nice. I thought this kind of looked kind of nice. I had this a lot taller before, but like I said, lots of alterations and experimentations on this base. So goes up, connects in. Even if some of these pillars are destroyed, there's extra support here. Do not go like a full 7 or 12 on this, because it won't add anything to your supports. It'll just, you know, cause it extra problems if these break down. But if you have these short, like 4, 3, 4, depending on how much space you've provided between here for the pathing, like I said, there's only really one path through here. You know, it'll hold certain amounts of weight and whatnot. Yeah, so that's all good. Campfires are probably better, because you could just put in like 10 minutes of fuel or something. Don't do it in this biome unless you really want a headache. It's a kind of a nasty biome. In fact, I had to turn down my settings, because it's still brutal for the recording. I liked adding this. This was good. It made getting in and out of this thing a lot easier. So that was good. Adding these helped, but I would add in dart traps maybe here and here. I don't know, redesign this thing as you need to, so you can have dart traps down here, just in case you automatically, that's like the only thing I didn't do to this base, because I didn't want it to be exactly like Shawoodles. But you don't really need it. Yeah, I don't know, it's all up to you. I think I am going to actually spend some more time leveling here, because I wanted to get to level 300 to show you a new base that I have in the distance. You may have seen little glimpses of it in another video, but it is a different type of end game base that is, I don't know how we should say it, efficient. It's efficient in its own way, elegant in its own design. Anyhow, we'll get to that. This one seems to work all right, but our time here is done. Wow, this is a long video. Okay guys, dart traps here, that'll help. And yeah, so there you go. Once again, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. Always make sure you close this thing when you're inside, because the zombies will jump on it. And if you are new to the channel and want to see more content like this, let me know in the comments. Subscribe. I also have a Let's Play. And I will see you in another video. Bye-bye.